This is Route 66, the Mother Road, the show that road trips the legendary highway from Chicago to the coast. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15. Every week they break it down so you actually get it.
Welcome to the Road, the show that road trips the legendary highway from Chicago to the coast. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're stopping at the most mathematically satisfying diner in America, the Midpoint Cafe in Adrian, Texas.
Adrian, Texas, population somewhere around 150 people, and yet somehow it pulls in visitors from all over the world.
Because it sits smack in the middle of Route 66, exactly halfway between Chicago and Los Angeles.
Which means if you're eating a slice of pie there, you are the same distance from both cities at the exact same moment.
That is either very comforting or deeply unsettling, depending on your relationship with pie.
The total length of Route 66 is 2,451 miles, so Adrian sits at roughly 1,225 miles from each end.
Signs outside the cafe actually tell you Chicago, 1,229 miles that way. Los Angeles, 1,229 miles the other way.
Wait, both say 1,229, not 1,225?
Yep, the numbers don't add up perfectly because the route changed over the decades. The sign is more poetic than precise.
I respect that. Route 66 has always been more of a feeling than a straight line anyway.
The Midpoint Cafe has been feeding road trippers since 1941, which means it survived the whole golden age of the highway.
And the not-so-golden age when the interstate system almost killed Route 66 entirely in the 1980s.
Decommissioned in '85. After that, a lot of towns on the route just faded. Adrian could have too.
But the cafe kept going. The current owners, Fran and Zelma Lovelace, ran it for years and became legends in the Route 66 community.
Zelma's pie became so famous that people planned their entire road trip around stopping in Adrian just to get a slice.
The cafe is known especially for its ugly crust pie, which sounds like an insult but is absolutely a compliment.
It's a traditional homemade pie where the crust isn't fussy or perfect. It's just real rustic and apparently incredible.
Basically the opposite of everything on social media. No perfect lattice top, just grandma energy and butter.
Exactly. And people drove across the country for it. That's the power of something genuinely good in a genuinely honest place.
The cafe even got a cameo in the Pixar movie Cars, which was heavily inspired by Route 66 towns like Adrian.
Radiator Springs in that movie is basically a love letter to these small highway towns that almost got left behind.
Which means kids who grew up watching Cars might one day road trip Route 66 specifically because of a cartoon.
And then stop at the real Midpoint Cafe and realize the actual place is somehow even better than the movie version.
Adrian gets visitors from Japan, Germany, Australia, people who treat Route 66 like a pilgrimage.
There's something kind of beautiful about a 150-person town in the Texas Panhandle becoming an international destination.
Because it represents something people everywhere are hungry for: authenticity, slowness, a road that lets you actually see the country.
Instead of flying over it at 35,000 feet eating a tiny bag of pretzels.
The Midpoint Cafe also has a gift shop packed with Route 66 memorabilia, because of course it does.
You cannot stand at the exact halfway point of a legendary American highway and not buy a refrigerator magnet. That is simply the law.
There's a sign out front with an arrow pointing both ways, and tourists line up to take photos with it every single day.
It's one of those spots where the sign itself becomes the attraction. The cafe could charge admission just for that photo op.
But they don't. They just make pie and coffee and let the highway do the talking.
Which is very Route 66 of them, honestly. The whole road is about what's still standing, still serving, still proud.
Adrian is proof that you don't need to be a big city to matter. You just need to be exactly where you are.
1,229 miles from everywhere, and somehow the center of the whole world when you're sitting there.
With ugly crust pie.
With ugly crust pie. See you next week on Route 66, the Mother Road.